Hello and welcome back to Corpse Factory. It's quite nice as well how, you get more people on the start screen. Started off with just Yuriko here, and now we've got the whole crew. Not quite sure why she's here just yet, but we'll get into that, I guess. Let's continue where we left off. I hit the right button. There are no new requests when I log into Corpse Girl's website this evening. I'm strangely okay with that. There's something I want to do before more requests come through anyway. I'm going to make some updates to the website. A few improvements that will considerably ease the workload placed upon Corpse Girl, Kojiro and Tomoe. In the website's admin settings, I add a couple of extra data fields to the front page. Instead of just asking for a photo and a phone number, the website now requires a victim's address to be provided. This will ensure we can successfully deliver a corpse for every request. In addition, the site now asks for the victim's name. I have always been hesitant about requesting this specific detail. I never wanted to know the names of the people Corpse Girl will kill. It creates familiarity, and I always used to worry that it would prevent me from going through with a request. But more than all of that, I feared that I would delve too deep into somebody's life. I feared that I would become too attached, too entranced by standing on the outside and looking in. Knowing someone's name would have allowed me to easily find victims online and go down the rabbit hole of spying on their private lives. My voyeuristic fetishes would have defeated me. I know myself, and I know that I would have become far too interested in a person to carry out their death. It's the same reason why I never reverse image searched the victim's photo before yesterday. Now that things are escalating, now that Corpse Girl needs a victim's address to ensure a kill, I have to get past all of that. I have to be strong for Corpse Girl. I'm somewhat relieved that the timing is suitable. After all, I haven't been as aroused as usual when stalking people online. I don't know if my libido is just low or if I truly have become uninterested in such things. Either way, I believe I'm able to cope with the burden of extra knowledge. Learning victims' names, addresses, all of that. It's going to work in Corpse Girl's favor. And I'm surely strong enough now to not give in to temptation and succumb to the scopophilia that has plagued my existence for years. After adding the victim's name and address fields to the website, I decide to add one final touch. There's a particular line of text that describes how the site works. I've always liked it. It says your victim will receive a photo of their own corpse shortly before they die. It's concise and it perfectly sums up the intention of the website. However, it needs to be updated to correctly apply to Corpse Girl's new modus operandi. I changed the line ever so slightly, just enough to make a difference. It now reads your victim will receive their own corpse shortly before they die. Some people might think it doesn't make sense. They'll think that maybe it's a typo or written by someone not familiar with the language. But it is completely intentional. Now that I've made all the changes to the website, I click the Save button in the admin panel. The changes are reflected immediately on the front page of the site. Corpse Girl's new and improved request form is online. With that done, I need to simply sit back and wait for some new requests to pour in. And it shouldn't take long once I put my next plan into motion. Because I've finally figured out how my sister can be of use to me after all these years. She's going to help me become famous. Yuriko Kurosawa's death will ensure that everybody in Japan knows the name Corpse Girl. June 16th, Tuesday morning. For the first time in a while, my fingers scrape against the bottom of the cabinet drawer.
Oh shit.
I fumble around and grab the last remaining burner phone in the drawer. It's a fairly modern handset from around 3 years ago. These newer models never retain their battery charge for more than a month or so when they've been inactive. Thankfully, it uses a generic charger, so I quickly plug it into the kitchen outlet and wait for it to return to life. I glance back down at the open drawer. It's completely empty now. I'm going to need to restock my supply of burners if I hope to continue with Corpse Girl's work. I nervously bite my fingernails at the thought. Getting these phones isn't easy. It's free, yes, but not easy. And if I get busted trying to lift a stack of them, that might very well be the end of me. I'll have to obtain as many new phones as possible at some point today. Once Corpse Girl kills my sister, my website is going to explode with new requests. I need to be as prepared as possible. I decide to finish getting ready for work while the burner charges. As much as I'd like to simply skip out and deal with my sister, I do need to pop into the office. Missing too many days is going to lead to getting fired, and that might compromise my mission. I take my medication, I apply my makeup, I pack my handbag. It's all so mundane, but it's also necessary. Each day is the same routine. There's comfort to be found in that, especially for someone like me, but sometimes I remember the excitement of finding myself in new situations. Even if those situations end up with me lying in the muck of a bathroom floor or against the stone-cold tiles of a morgue. When I'm ready to leave the apartment, I snatch the burner phone up and check the battery. It's at around 40%, that should be plenty. I stash it in my handbag so it's ready for action when the time comes. I'm out the door at the same time as every other day. I find myself alone in the office well after the working day has ended. The entire floor is empty and silent. I shut down my computer and stretch my tense arms. I don't normally like staying back late, but sometimes it's necessary to get work done. And when I say work, I am of course referring to Corpse Girl's tasks. When I'm absolutely certain that everybody has gone home, I get out of my chair and wander listlessly around the office. It's kind of nice having the place to myself. It's like my apartment, only bigger and colder, and without that terrible odor of mold that permeates the walls. I noticed that quite a few people tend to leave their belongings at their desks. Nothing too valuable, the occasional coat, hat, or pair of headphones. Should somebody of low moral character wish to steal them, there would be nothing stopping them. I'm personally not interested in any of that. I walk to the other side of the office floor and reach the seniors' cubicles. Even the seniors leave important things lying around. There's a gift bag with a cake shop logo on the front, a company credit card, a few personal bank statements. But the contents of their desk drawers are where the real gold is found. As I rifle through one drawer in particular, I find exactly what I'm looking for. It's an old Noise brand phone, a few models earlier than my own. It slips into my handbag right alongside the burner phone I brought from home. I close the desk drawer gently and traipse into the next cubicle. The top drawer here contains a flip phone, a familiar classic. It'll serve me well. Into the handbag it goes. One of the main problems I have with this company, with any company in fact, is the wasteful attitude of management. Executives, seniors, and even some junior staff are provided with company phones. Basically, if you're expected to make calls on a job, the company will issue you a phone so that you don't have to use your own. However, with the rapid evolution of modern technology, phones often find themselves replaced or upgraded well before they cease functioning, and management doesn't care about recycling or repurposing unused, obsolete phones. The devices simply drift to the bottom of drawers or storage cabinets, destined to become forgotten within moments. Am I really doing the wrong thing by taking these phones off the company's hands? It's not like I'm stealing personal property from employees. I'm only taking what the company is likely to write off as a business expense. This is a multi-billion yen company. Are they really going to miss the odd outdated device? I justified this to myself long ago. I'm ensuring these phones are used for a bigger purpose, and there's nothing bigger than fulfilling Corpse Girl's ambitions. As I swipe the 4th or 5th phone, I hear the ding of the elevator from across the office floor.
Shit.
Someone's here. I need to get away from the cubicles without being seen.
Yuriko, is that you?
I must have ducked down a second too late because the voice identified me correctly. I scuttle forward on my knees just a little bit so that I'm not so close to the cubicles. When I get to my feet, I'm halfway between the senior employees area and the juniors' open plan desks.
Shinya?
Shinya walks over from the elevator to greet me.
Hi. You're here awfully late. What were you doing over there? That is, if you don't mind me asking.
Oh. I lent my USB drive to one of the seniors earlier and they didn't return it, so...
Oh. Did you find it?
Nope. Oh well. I'll ask about it tomorrow.
I could help you look if you like.
Seriously, it's okay. I'm about to head home anyway. What are you doing here?
I left my wallet at my desk. Can you believe it? Luckily, I remembered before I took Tomoe out for dinner. I would have appeared to be quite the buffoon if I'd been unable to pay for our meal.
Yeah, I suppose so. Hey, how are things anyway?
Things with Tomoe are great. We are truly in love.
Wow, okay, not exactly what I meant, but how are things here? I mean, what happened with Kotomi and...
Ah, that whole kerfuffle. Can you believe Miss Ida is dead now? Is it wrong of me to say that I'm happy she's dead? Is that an awful thing to admit?
I gently shake my head, but I don't interrupt his train of thought.
It's so bizarre. Especially considering our relationship and how determined she was to end my career.
It bothers me that Shinya is still referring to the conflict between himself and Kotomi as a relationship.
But it would seem that she was the only one with animosity toward me. As such, the other executives said I'm welcome to work here as long as I like. In fact, they were even generous enough to give me a small salary raise.
Wow! That's great, Shinya. I'm really happy for you.
Thank you. It truly was a struggle there for a little while.
Before my brain can even register what I'm saying, the following words tumble out of my mouth.
Do you want to talk about it?
Noriko, I know that I haven't been as open with you as I should have been. Maybe talking about it will help me put the whole thing behind me.
I bite my tongue as I try to think of a way to back out of the situation.
Oh, you know, if you're uncomfortable talking to me, maybe Tomoe can help?
My objection is met with a smile. Looks like I'm in too deep now.
Tomoe means well. She really does. But whenever I bring up the subject, she becomes visibly angry. Many a death threat against Miss Ida has been made aloud. I wouldn't be all too surprised if Tomoe was the one who killed her. There certainly is a motive there, after all.
So you don't know who killed Kotomi?
I don't even think the police know that much. Father showed me the photos of the crime scene. Chances are that whoever did kill her was also killed in return. Though, as abusive as she was toward me, I never took her as the type to instigate a mass murder. She was an angry person, yes. But that seemed to stem from a lack of fulfillment. That's what I assume, anyway. And I think that's the reason she made her advances on me.
Shinya, I really am sorry. I'm so sorry that you had to go through such a traumatic experience.
I thought I was going to lose everything. My job, my relationship. Miss Ida threatened to steal it all away from me. Just so she could experience some form of power, some small manner of pleasure. Why do people do those things, Noriko? What joy is there even to be found in...
I take my time to consider my reply. I'm probably not the best person for him to be having this discussion with, but all things considered, it does seem to be helping him come to terms with things.
Shinya, what you went through with Kotomi, what she did to you, that's not what it's about. She never had the right to put you through that. I hope that one day, when you're comfortable and feeling healthy, I hope that you can make some good memories with Tomoe.
Yes. I hope so. Thank you, Noriko.
Don't mention it.
I don't know if my words were the right ones. What right do I have to talk about what he went through? I can only hope that I managed to bring him some sort of comfort.
Well, I better grab my wallet and get going. Don't want to keep Tomoe waiting. Say, would you like to join us, Noriko? Are you hungry at all?
Oh, I don't want to intrude on your romantic evening.
It's no trouble, really.
Maybe next time. I have some things I need to do tonight.
Okay, no problem. Well, see you later.
Shinya takes off towards his desk. I breathe a sigh of relief as I hoist my handbag up from the ground, feeling the reassuring weight of my newly acquired burner phones. I enter the elevator and give a polite wave to Shinya as the doors close.
Give me a call back when you leave the restaurant.
Ugh, you want me to drive tonight?
It has to be tonight. We talked about this.
But...
Please. Kojiro's on standby as well.
Fine. Not like I've been dying to bring Shinya back to my place or nothing.
Don't push Shinya. Let him tell you when he's ready.
Yeah, I know. Look, I'll probably be out of the restaurant in an hour. That cool?
Yes, thanks.
Bye!
Tomoe hangs up. I look down the street, my gaze aiming directly at the restaurant Tomoe is currently seated at with Shinya. I'll need to kill an hour around here, but what is there to do? I'm not exactly keen on the idea of window shopping. I don't even want to be here, but standing in one spot as dozens of people walk by is really nerve-wracking. I could go visit Aoi at the maid cafe, but then I'd have to pay the table charge to enter, and it would probably be pretty weird to be served by girls in maid costumes. Not really my thing. As I glance around, I notice a 24-hour manga cafe at the end of the street. That could actually be perfect. I could rent a quiet space for a few hundred yen and just read a book until it's time to go. No one there to bother me. In fact, the only person I'd need to speak to is the attendant at the counter. With my mind made up, I hurry along to the manga cafe.
Pretty late.
Come on, you're a night owl. What are you complaining about?
Just making chit-chat.
Well, instead of talking, how about you hold that flashlight still? I can't see what I'm doing with you waving it around.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm nearly done anyway. Fucking Yuriko. This wouldn't be so difficult if she didn't have different haircuts in every single photo on her profile. I'm just going to have to estimate the length of her hair for now.
A corpse on the table in front of me looks like an uncanny clone of my sister. I snip away a little more hair from her fringe and then put the scissors aside.
You must be close.
The opposite.
Makeup's done!
Thanks. Looks good.
Tomoe beams as she puts the cap back on the lipstick in her hand.
I think we're done. Can you zip up the bag? I really need to wash my hands.
You got it, boss.
I step away from the corpse and plunge my hands into the ice-cold bucket of water on the factory floor. I have to admit that we've become pretty good at this whole thing. In just a week or so, we've managed to refine our art and synchronize our duties.
Okay, load her in the van. I'm going to send the corpse photo now.
You sure about this? You think she's gonna be awake this time of night?
I'm positive. This is the best time to do it.
According to her noise feed, Yuriko Kurosawa is currently attending a massive party. I'm sure the venue will be packed to the brim with her scumbag friends. She's been posting about it for days. It wasn't hard for me to find out all the information I needed since whoever organized the party posted it as a public event. Yuriko is about to receive a photo of her own corpse. And in less than an hour's time, she's going to receive her carbon copy corpse in a body bag in front of at least 100 people. The mass panic that will break out is sure to be hilarious. I don't want to miss it, and I don't want to miss my sister's final moments. Maybe she'll kill herself in front of her closest friends, or maybe the terror will slowly eat away at her and she'll go home first before deciding she just can't take it anymore. I'm happy with either result. She's finally going to get what she deserves. I hate her so much. She's a lowlife, degenerate, a delinquent, the utter scum of the earth. And she never calls me. I doubt she remembers I even exist.
Ready to go?
I snap out of my thoughts and look at the phone that I've been subconsciously holding in my feeble grip. It's the burner I picked up from home earlier this morning. Yuriko's corpse photo is glowing on the screen, ready to be launched into the network. I hit send.
Okay.
Kojiro nods and hauls the zipped-up body bag onto his shoulder. The weight of the cadaver inside causes him to stumble a little, but he regains his balance and shuffles toward the factory entrance. I examine the body bag as Kojiro carries it. It's the same white HRP that we picked up from the morgue, but I've made a rather nice adjustment to it. Big bold letters are scrawled along the sides in purple and black permanent marker. It says, "With love from Corpse Girl." Underneath the massive letters in smaller script is Corpse Girl's website and address. A scribble of a cute anime girl decorates the other side of the bag. It's the very same character that dances animatedly on Corpse Girl's website. Tomoe told me this was a bold move. Kojiro didn't seem to care. Yuriko Kurosawa is about to be publicly executed. Tonight is the night that Corpse Girl becomes known to the world. This is the quietest house party I've ever witnessed. I only managed to catch a glimpse of it before Kojiro shields my eyes with his ice-cold hand. I want to object to him censoring my vision, but the smell of blood causes me to slump against his shoulder and I resort to whimpering quietly as he places me gently on the ground. The vision of the house party from hell is still vivid behind my closed eyelids. It's not like I've been to many house parties in my life. In fact, when I really think about it, I don't think I've ever been to a single one before this moment. But I've seen them on television. I've seen them in movies. They're always loud. Music is blasting, people are dancing, drinking, making out. The scene I witnessed doesn't look like any of that. I'm pretty sure dead bodies don't line the floor at a regular house party. I'm pretty sure trails of blood aren't on the guest list. This party is weird. The walls are slashed, there's broken glass everywhere, specks of blood are dotted across the furniture. Someone in the next room is sobbing quietly, someone above, perhaps inside the ceiling, is groaning. Kojiro is sitting next to me now. I can imagine a bored expression hovering over his features. He still has his hand over my eyes. He taps the fingers of his other hand against the body bag beside him. His digits drum out a rhythmic beat upon Yuriko Kurosawa's clone, still zipped up and sealed inside her temporary coffin. I think Tomoe is still in the van. She said something about not wanting to get messed up. I never planned on entering this party, but Kojiro dragged the body inside, then returned shortly after and told me I should come take a look. So here I am. Here I am, blinded by Kojiro's misguided attempt to protect me from the carnage I willingly unleashed. I asked him if he killed all the people here. He said no. I suppose I believe him. I managed to squint through a gap in Kojiro's fingers momentarily. The blurred shapes of 4 or 5 bodies are on the floor in front of us. There's a stray arm lying limply on a chair that's currently unaccounted for. Kojiro presses down firmly against my face and my vision darkens once more. I hear his voice and imagine his calm demeanor in my mind.
Thoughts?
Don't know.
I haven't managed to sort my head out just
Your
yet.
sister's over there. Well, a corpse that looks like her, at any rate.
Give me a second.
Okay.
Kojiro releases his grip from my face. I stand. I tiptoe forward, stumbling thanks to my still blurry eyes. I can make out the shape of a sofa close to the wall and I approach it carefully. The empty gap between the sofa and the wall is a 3-foot wide space. I'm not sure why the owner of this house doesn't keep the sofa directly against the wall. The empty space here seems kind of useless. Maybe if the sofa is all the way against the wall it becomes too far from the TV. That's a possibility. I would personally just get a bigger TV so that the sofa can be kept comfortably flush with the wall. The gap here really annoys me. It's making me irritated. I want to push the sofa back myself, but I know I don't have the strength. It's a massive thing, bigger than I am, and maybe even bigger than Corpse Girl. Even if I was strong enough to move it, there's still the issue of my sister lying here between the sofa and the wall. She's in the way. I'd have to move her first, and the thought of touching her is absolutely disgusting. Even when she was alive, I never wanted to touch her. She's a foul excuse for a human being.
Hey, Yuriko. Long time no see.
She doesn't respond.
You don't look so hot. Guess I'm prettier now, huh? Why do you never call me? Whatever. I wouldn't answer the phone anyway.
She doesn't say anything. The sound of someone grunting behind me doesn't interrupt my concentration. I assume it's just Kojiro clearing his throat.
Have you seen Mother lately? I haven't heard from her in a while. I'm sure she's fine. Are you still on parole? I heard you were working at a clothing store. Yeah, I'm fine. I'm working for Temujin at the moment.
Yuriko nods.
It's okay. There are worse jobs, I'm sure. How did you get that cut across your throat? Does it hurt?
I reach forward and slip my fingers into Yuriko's gashed throat. When I remove them, I frown at the red blood dripping down into the gaps between my knuckles.
That's disgusting. Remember when you bandaged me up after I busted my knee? You said Mother would be mad if she found out that you hurt me. So you tried your best to fix me up before she got home. She found out, though. I think she's going to find out about this, too. There's no way you can keep this from her, Yu.
Yuriko smiles gently. I wipe the blood onto my skirt.
Oh? Him? That's Kojiro. He's a friend. No, there's nothing between us.
I hear the grunt from behind once more.
I know. You're actually nicer than I remember. Why couldn't you ever be this nice when we were kids? If you'd been this nice to me, then maybe I wouldn't have spent my entire teenage life wishing you would drop dead. Oh, I guess my wishes came true after all.
Yuriko laughs along with me. It doesn't sound like the laugh I remember. It's more like a gurgle, like she has something caught in her throat. A trickle of blood pours from between her lips and she coughs.
Oh, do you need a tissue? Here.
I unzip my handbag and retrieve a tissue, then hand it to Yuriko. She tilts her head and sprays the rest of the blood from her mouth.
Fuck you, Noriko.
Okay. I gotta go. Say hi to Father for me, okay?
I leave Yuriko behind. After making my way out of the cursed house, I find Kojiro waiting by the van. Tomoe has shut herself inside and rolled up all the windows.
I think we're done here.
Okay, leave this here?
He lazily indicates the body bag on the ground.
Yeah, I guess so. We didn't need it after all.
Guess not.
Kojiro slaps his broad hands across his trousers, dusting them off. He cocks his neck to the side and stretches his limbs. I make an attempt to reach for the van's door, but Kojiro stops me.
Not curious about what happened?
Only a little. She's dead, though. Or dying. That's all that matters. Oh, actually, give me 1 second.
I quickly dart back inside the house. I weave across the room and duck behind the sofa once more. Yuriko is silent and unmoving. I do my best to push her body to the side with my skeletal arms. She budges an inch or two and I find what I'm looking for. Her phone buried between her ass and the carpet. I turn on the screen and find there's no fingerprint or passcode lock. The photo of Yuriko's corpse, the very same photo that I sent to her earlier, is still on the screen.
I guess she did receive the photo then. Maybe that's all it took this time. She must have been pretty freaked if she killed all the people here. This is like the Kotomi Ida situation all over again.
My voyeuristic tendencies flare up and I decide to look through the rest of her photos. I swipe across the screen just once and nearly jump out of my skin. Yuriko received the photo right before she received the one I sent. It arrived 10 minutes before my photo. It's another image of a corpse. Another photo depicting her death, but it's completely different than the one I crafted.
What the fuck?
Someone else sent Yuriko Kurosawa a photo of her own corpse only 10 minutes before I did. Yuriko received the corpse photo from somebody else. What is going on? I examined the photo in detail. It's well made, just like my own work. If I didn't know any better, it would be easy to assume that I made this. But what stands out the most is the writing on the bottom of the image. It simply says, "Stab Shuji at the party." Stab Shuji at the party? Who the hell is Shuji? Is he here? Is he one of the dead bodies scattered around this accursed house? I quickly discard the thoughts of Shuji. A more important question has come to my attention. Is someone else crafting corpse photos and sending them to people? Does Corpse Girl have a copycat? An imitator? But why target Yuriko? Why target somebody whose death was requested through Corpse Girl's website? I can't process this right now. It's already past midnight and I'm utterly exhausted. I shove Yuriko's phone into my handbag and get the hell out of the house. June 17th, Wednesday morning. Today is not a suitable day to go to the office. Today is not a suitable day to wake up and shower. Today is not a suitable day to force those tiny pills down my throat. Today is a day to lay in bed and rest my face on the pillow caked with yesterday's makeup. I don't know what the time is, I don't really care. My phone has buzzed several times, but I simply don't have the energy to reach over and look at it. I want to just stay here and be warm and comfortable and not think about anything. I don't want to think about that house party last night, but I keep thinking about it. I don't want to think about finding Yuriko's body in that irritating, useless space between the sofa and the wall. I don't want to think about my sister's final words to me, those bitter syllables that she used all of her remaining strength to force between her blood-soaked lips. I don't want to think about the fact that I'd probably have said the same thing to her if I was in her position. I don't want to think about the possibility that someone else was responsible for Yuriko's death. It was supposed to be Corpse Girl. Me. I was supposed to be responsible for my sister's death. Somebody else caused her death. How dare they steal that from me? How dare they? A copycat, a nobody. The more that I don't think about it, the more I find myself thinking about it. Think. Why would somebody copy Corpse Girl's methods? How would somebody copy Corpse Girl's methods? Corpse Girl is mine. Mine! Corpse Girl belongs to me. I'm not infamous enough yet to have an imposter, surely. I'd be kidding myself with delusions of grandeur to think that I've earned an imitator. But the fact remains that somebody sent Yuriko a corpse photo that was meticulously edited and just as convincing as anything I could make. And those instructions: stab Shuji at the party. Stab Shuji. Did Yuriko do it? Did she pull a knife and slit Shuji's throat? What about the other people at the party lying cold on the floor? Did she kill them as well? Did Yuriko imitate Kotomi Ida's final moments and cut down a swathe of people, all in an effort to spare her own life? And then, who turned the knife on Yuriko? Someone acting in self-defense? Did she kill them too? There are too many questions and not nearly enough answers to satisfy my hungry mind. In an effort to find a silver lining in the whole situation, I think about how Kojo left the body bag at the party. Hopefully the police will discover the corpse and link Corpse Girl to the murder scene. Her name and website are written all over the HRP after all. Everything might work out. As long as Corpse Girl claims the credit for the deaths, my popularity still has a chance of skyrocketing. My website will be inundated with new requests. Requests from people begging for me or Corpse Girl to kill on their behalf. Yes, last night's slaughter may actually be the best thing that could have happened. I'll happily steal the credit to propel Corpse Girl's name into the stars. I roll over and bite my pillow until it's soaked through with saliva and blood, and I scream until my lungs give out. The house party from hell is all over the news. It's being live streamed. It's all over noise. It's all anyone is talking about. I didn't expect anything less. A dozen or so people dead, a corpse in a body bag, a cryptic message with love from Corpse Girl. The police are trying desperately to put all the pieces together. That detective, Shinya's father, has his face plastered over every news outlet. He says the whole event is linked to the previous string of murders, the ones with corpses decorated to look like the victims.
Of course it's linked, you utter dipshit. It's all Corpse Girl's doing. It says so on the fucking body bag.
Except, this wasn't Corpse Girl's doing, but the more I lie to myself, the better I feel. I'm the only one who knows that a copycat was responsible for the deaths. I'm the only one who has seen the photo with the instructions to kill Shuji. I've still got Yuriko's phone, that all-important piece of evidence that will surely serve me better than the police. According to various threads on Noise Channel, the police tried to redact the image of the body bag with Corpse Girl's website written on it. But once something is on the internet, it's pretty much impossible to remove it. The fact that the police wanted it deleted only served to increase the speed at which the image spread. 1,000 posts around the web are all asking the same thing: who is Corpse Girl? Apparently a lot of people are too scared to visit the website. They fear it might incriminate them, like the police are ready to knock down the door of anyone who visits the site. Yeah, right. But that reluctance, that hesitance, hasn't conquered the hearts of the truly curious. Corpse Girl's website has received over 1,000 visitors today. The overwhelming majority of IP addresses accessing the site are based in Tokyo. Even though the murders are known all over Japan, the news outlets in Tokyo are really having a field day with it. I expected most of the web traffic to be local, but it's still nice to see some visitors from elsewhere: Osaka, Kyoto, Sapporo, Fukuoka. Hell, there were even 2 hits from the USA. Corpse Girl is finally becoming well known. However, despite the influx of web traffic, not a single request has been made. I pout in annoyance as I stare at my laptop screen. The request inbox shows no unread messages. It's almost too difficult to believe. I wonder if the changes I made to the site's front page have deterred people from using it. I'm asking for a lot more information now. A victim's name and address are now necessary to submit a request. I'm about to shut down my laptop in annoyance when a little detail grabs my attention. The last message in the request inbox. It's stamped with a time and date. Today, 5:45 PM, about 15 minutes ago. Huh? This request can't have come through this evening. It's been marked as read, which means I've already opened it. Curious, I click on the message. The photo that downloads is of somebody I've never seen before. An unremarkable man, but someone that I would instantly recognize if I had previously opened this request. I return to the inbox and examine the times and dates of each message in closer detail. Every message is marked as read, so I had assumed all of these were requests from previous days, but it would seem that I was wrong. The messages are all from today. There's an entire page full of requests that have been made just since this morning, 25 in total. Yuriko, did you use 1234 as the password to your admin account? Holy shit! Why are they all marked as read? I haven't seen any of these. I madly open all of them. The photos of victims quickly download in succession and I skim through them. Not a single familiar face. What's going on? As I'm making my way through each message, a brand new request pops up at the top of the screen. I'm about to click on it when it suddenly turns grey. The tiny little closed envelope icon next to the message transforms into an open envelope right before my eyes. I'm struck with a single terrifying thought. Somebody is reading these requests before me. Somebody somehow has gained access to Corpse Girl's request inbox, and they are reading every single new request before I do. Somebody else has access to these requests. I can't believe it. I'm so shocked that I don't know what to do. I stare blankly at the screen, my mouth hanging open in disbelief. Has somebody hacked into my site? In a desperate bid to regain my composure and a measure of control, I hunch over the laptop and begin tapping at the keyboard. I access the site's security settings in order to check the most recent visitors. All of the traffic is only accessing the front page of the website, as it should be, but one other user has accessed the site's admin panel directly. The security settings show that 2 people are currently logged into the admin panel, myself and some stranger. I look up the IP address of the visitor and find that it's based in Tokyo. Perhaps someone who saw the news report about Corpse Girl decided to try hacking into my website. I cannot abide a blasphemous transgression like this. How dare they set foot upon my holy soil? I'm burning with rage as I click into the site's advanced security settings.
I'll change my password. I'll ban the hacker's IP address. I'll kill them! I'll kill them for defiling Corpse Girl's website!
June 18th, Thursday afternoon.
You heard me.
Yeah, so?
Can't you track them down? Don't you have, like, connections?
Me? Already hooked you up with cadavers. Don't know what else you want.
I want you to find this hacker and let me strangle them to death!
Jeez. I'm no computer genius. Take it to the police.
You've gotta be kidding me.
Of course.
So what am I supposed to do?
Find someone else. Besides, you still owe me.
Excuse me? What exactly do I owe you?
My share of the corpses. Remember our deal? It's take with you. We're supposed to share.
Come on, what do you need me for? You're capable of getting the cadavers yourself now that you know how. Just ask Tomoe to drive for you.
Can I store them at the factory?
Store them? For how long?
Don't know. Weeks?
They'll rot.
That's why I won't take them home.
It'll stink up the whole place.
We had a deal.
Fine. Store them at the factory. I don't care. What do you want them for, anyway?
Tut. Not allowed to ask. Good luck with your hacker. Gotta go.
Right. Thanks for nothing.
All good in the hood?
Sure, whatever.
I'm not in the mood for Tomoe right now. I just want to get back to work, get the day over with, and go home.
Come on, cheer the fuck up. There's gotta be someone who can find that hacker.
Well, I don't know anyone.
Yeah, me neither. How many requests did you say there were?
70 when I looked this morning.
70? Jeez. How am I gonna deliver that many, you know what?
Keep your voice down.
I said, you know what? I didn't say nothing incriminating.
I don't know, okay? Is that what you want to hear?
No need to snap at me.
Just shut up for a minute, will you? I can't think when you're around.
Wow, sorry. Fucking skank.
Tomoe's words hang in the air long after she's gone. It doesn't take a genius to figure out that her usage of the word skank wasn't affectionate like usual. I curse under my breath and return to my desk. I feel like I'm drowning under stress at the moment. Everything is piling up on me, forcing me down, pushing my head underwater and taking away my will to even fight back. 70 odd requests to work through, a hacker with access to my websites, even if I've managed to block them temporarily, I'm sure they'll return. And then there's the copycat responsible for my sister's death. It's all becoming too much. I don't feel like I'm in control anymore. I don't feel like stoic, unflinching Noriko. I don't even feel like Corpse Girl. Poor, defiled Corpse Girl, with hackers prodding her and copycats mocking her. Don't you think the last two are connected? I feel like that would be the natural assumption to make. If I don't feel like Noriko and I don't feel like Corpse Girl, then just who the fuck am I? June 19th, Friday night.
Thank you for meeting me after work. I hope you don't mind eating at this restaurant.
Of course, it's no trouble.
It's nice to see you. I feel like we only ever talk on the phone these days.
Yeah. Is something troubling you?
I'm not really sure why I asked Aoi to meet me. Part of me wants someone to talk to. I want to vent and unleash my frustrations. But another deeper, darker part of me just wants to throw everything away and hold her in my arms and let her tell me that everything will be okay.
Noriko, you've got a weird look on your face.
Sorry.
You can talk to me.
I'm kind of swamped at the moment. Do you ever get that feeling that you're drowning underneath the weight of everything? That no matter what you do, you'll never escape your situation? What am I saying? Of course you get it. You've been through so much shit.
Noriko, we've both been through a lot. School wasn't easy for either of us. I know you better than anyone. I know everything about you.
That's true.
It comforts me when I remember just how close Aoi and I used to be. But times have changed. I've changed. I might as well be a completely different person these days. There are things about me that Aoi doesn't know. Things that make up who I am, who Corpse Girl is.
I guess I'm just overwhelmed. Maybe I need a vacation.
A vacation, huh? That does sound nice. Okay. Dream vacation destination. Go.
Huh?
Come on. We used to play this all the time. Don't think about it. Just tell me about your ideal getaway.
Somewhere sunny? Don't laugh at me!
I just can't imagine you in the sun.
Seriously. You said dream vacation, so... Yeah. In my dreams, I'd like to go somewhere sunny. Maybe Hawaii or Australia. Could you imagine me with a tan?
You should go. Go to Hawaii or Australia or wherever. Do something good for yourself.
Aoi, come on. You know it's not that simple.
But why not?
Really? How can you, of all people, ask me that?
Regardless of what she's having in her mind right now, which I think I have a pretty good idea of, she doesn't have the money to do that.
What's that supposed to mean?
You can't even leave your apartment without checking that the light is off, or that the faucet isn't running. You need to check, like, 10 or 20 times.
I'm aware. At least I can go out.
Hey, I'm out right now, aren't I?
Are you?
Excuse me?
Does a safe little place like this even count? How is this any different than your tiny apartment?
It's completely different. I'm surrounded by people, and...
It's the same. You don't go anywhere new. You're too terrified to step outside of your comfort zone.
Oh, come on. You can't talk. You couldn't even start working at the office with me because you were too anxious to leave your apartment.
That's not fair. If I'm not certain about everything, then it's too hard to... Why are we fighting? We both know what we're battling with, so... Why?
I don't know. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry too.
We sit in uncomfortable silence for a while. Every now and then, Aoi shuffles in her seat and checks her phone. I said some nasty things to her. Sometimes I talk before I can even think twice about what I'm saying.
Aoi, tell me about your dream vacation.
Mine? I'd actually like to go somewhere colder. I like the cold. I like to wrap up in blankets and sip hot cocoa. Maybe a winter getaway to Switzerland or Norway.
Could you have chosen anything more expensive? I don't think so.
That doesn't sound half bad. There's something nice about snuggling up in the cold.
Right? I'm glad you agree.
You think we'll ever get away?
I am certain we will.
Maybe we could go somewhere together.
Maybe. By the way, I wanted to tell you that I'll be leaving the maid cafe soon.
Really? That's great! What does your manager think?
She pauses before answering. I'm not sure if she's thinking or trying to build suspense or...
I think he's had a change of heart. He said I can do what I want.
That's fantastic, Aoi!
It's a relief, that's for sure. My last shift is tomorrow. After that, I'll finally be able to escape that one guy.
Aoi hangs her head. She doesn't have to say anything more. I know that she's talking about her stalker, that disgusting guy that makes advances on her at work. I'm sad that it had to come to Aoi quitting her job in order to escape him, but a solution is a solution.
What will you do for work?
She'll be her uncle's private maid.
I'm sure something will come up. I have a bit of money tucked away, so I'm not too worried. And my boyfriend has a good job, so he can probably help out.
Excuse me?